What's up, everybody? So the first moon sign we're going to talk about is the Aries moon. And if you don't know or you do know, Aries is the first sign in the zodiac, and Aries suns and Aries moons and just Aries energy in general, it loves to be first. And so as a result, it's very competitive and it likes to win. You can ask an Aries and they are probably wanting to win at something or wanting to compete at something. I guarantee it. So before we start though, go ahead and comment below and tell me if you have an Aries moon. And then also at the end of the video, let me know if you resonate with anything as well. But yeah, let me know if you have this moon sign. Some pros to an Aries moon. Aries moons are very independent and they are very driven, so they're very much go-getters. They like to take charge. They're very courageous. They're very brave. Aries was the god of war, so to fight a battle, to fight a war, you have to be very courageous. And as a result of that, they love action. They love to do things. On the negative side, so every sign, every energy has its positives and its negatives. Aries can be very rash. It can be very impulsive. It feels before it thinks. So maybe that resonates with you if you have an Aries moon. Feeling before you think. They can be really insensitive. So if they're not getting their way, they can emotionally erupt and there's emotional outbursts, and they can be very self-centered. And because they are the sign of self. And Aries is all about that independence, all about that look at me, give me glory, give me reverence. Like Aries and Achilles from Greek mythology are kind of associated with this energy. So we have two characters or two figures that really want glory. They want to be recognized. So there's like a recognition part. And if an Aries moon does not get it, they get pissed. So how do you nurture an Aries moon? To nurture an Aries moon, the best thing you can do if you have one is to get active, is to take charge, is to go after things. So sports would be the best way to kind of handle this energy. So anything active, and very much powerful and full of force. So like football, basketball, baseball because of the running aspect and because of the hitting aspect, softball, even swimming, but you would be more like a sprinter in swimming instead of like a distance swimmer. Tennis, snowboarding, skiing, surfing, all of these different sports. Martial arts, so karate, tai chi, all of these things that are very active are going to fuel you as you, if you have this moon sign. And as a result of that, you will feel emotionally fulfilled when you're in the battle, when you're in an arena, when you are competing. And if you get first, that's even better. An Aries moon loves to get first. It just emotionally fulfills them. So winning any sort of competition, it doesn't matter what it is, but it's something that you wanted to win. And this is another positive quality about an Aries moon, is that they are very much about doing what they want to do and just going after it. And so some moon signs aren't able to do this as well. Aries moons don't have a problem with this. Now, where they have problems is in dealing with their emotions. So emotionally, an Aries moon is going to run very hot. It's a fire sign. It's the first sign. It's also a very childlike sign. And so it will have emotional outbursts. And to look at this and kind of compare, you can look at different celebrities throughout our modern time, but throughout history as well. And some that come to mind, so Novak Djokovic has this placement as well, and he is known to have a temper. So if you watch him play tennis, and he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. So there's that number one energy that Aries is trying to really cultivate. But if you get slighted in any sort of way, or there is something that bruises your ego, or there is something that you just don't quite agree with, your temper flares up like that. It goes from 0 to 120 fast. And so he's broken his rackets. He has gotten kicked out of competitions. There are various things that have happened because of his temper. So you have to watch out for that as an Aries moon. Emotional outbursts are something that can very much happen. So like you'll get angry, you'll get rageful, even like joy though. Like you will have a lot of joy, and it's not coming from a malicious place. It's not coming from a calculated place. An Aries moon is very simple, and they're very straightforward with everything in the way that they speak, in the way that they do things, unless there's something else in the chart. But they are very much like that. And so their emotions behave the same way, that if they are riled up in the moment, boom, they go to this very reactive place. But as quickly as they heat up, they come back down just as fast. And so an Aries moon won't be mad at you for that long. They won't feel emotions for that long. They'll feel them intensely for a short amount of time. It's almost like a volcanic eruption, but then it goes down. And then they're fine again. So the best thing to do is like give an Aries moon some space when they start to get into that reactive zone. Do not try to like bring them down. They are in the rage frenzy state, and they're kind of like in that battle. One thing also with an Aries moon is that they like to start things fast, and they are go-getters. Like they like to take charge. They want to do things. If there's a project here and a project here and a project here, it's like, I'm going to start that, I'm going to start that, I'm going to start that. So they love new stuff. They love to try new things, but then they get bored. Then they want to do something else. So to guard against this, make sure what you are starting, you are finishing as well. So that can be a challenge for an Aries moon, is that they don't like to finish things necessarily. It's not the sign that likes to finish things. The sign that comes after that, Taurus, much better at finishing and going through a slow process. Aries just wants to start. Think of the time of the season. Aries comes in the spring. You have a bunch of flowers blooming. You have new animals being born. There is a lot of life just being created and flourishing. So Aries kind of follows that same energy. It's very simple and direct. It wants to be very independent. So those are some good qualities of it. Don't be too independent though, or else you won't be able to compromise. So that's another thing where if you're too independent, if you're too into yourself, it's hard to build relationships. And so Aries moons can find that it can be hard to really find like relationships that are meaningful because they can be so focused on themselves, and they have intense eyes. They have this intensity about them that really like drives them forward, and it's great, but find different things to be able to temper that. Another thing is that Aries loves a fight. They absolutely love the competition, the arena, the battle, the war. And so wherever your moon is in your chart, especially if you have a Cancer rising, you have to figure out that specific arena to where your fight is emotionally. And so when you can do that, you don't have to go out and pick fights with every single thing in your life, because that's what could happen. You could get emotionally riled up here and here and here and here and here. And then you're fighting a bunch of fights and expelling this energy that you don't necessarily want to expel or fight or anything. So this can be really common when you're younger and you kind of don't know what to do with the energy. But as you get older and as you kind of get a grasp of this, you can channel it. And so you have this immense reservoir of energy that you want to be first. You want to get into the battle. You want to get into the arena. And so as a result of that, you start finding places so that you can do these things. But really take some time to figure out like, okay, what causes do I want to fight for? What exactly do I want to put my energy into? And You know, it may come to you really quickly, it may not, depending on, you know, other variables and factors in your chart. But the key is figure out what you want to fight for. What is meaningful and purposeful to you, or else you're going to go and pick fights with everything around you. And you don't want to do that. I think it was Bruce Lee that said, don't go searching for fights, let the fight find you. And that's something an Aries moon could do well to learn, is that, yeah, pick where you want to battle, but wait till the fight comes to you. It will. It truly will. Some celebrities that have this placement are Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Rihanna, Angelina Jolie, Chris Rock, Novak Djokovic I mentioned, and there's a host of others. So the theme here is that they want to be the best. They are doing things to be the best. But also, what I've read about some of them is that they are hard to work with. Steve Jobs was hard to work with, and Novak Djokovic, I'm sure, is hard to play with or play against. Rihanna also has like that intensity to her. All these people want to be the best though. They want to be the best in what they do, and they have picked a specific arena to do it in and to fight for. So the biggest thing with an Aries moon, find what you want to fight for. Find what you want to put your energy into, where you want to take charge, where you want that go-getter attitude to be. Because when you can find that, then all of these things start to funnel into that area, and you can really take this energy of the warrior and this martial, warlike energy from Aries and transform it into something very positive. I hope you enjoyed this video, and comment below, let me know what you thought of it, and Taurus will be next. See you later.